What's up, everybody? FSC Trucking. Well, it's a shop day today. Tomorrow, well, I gotta go get Orwell loaded. We're gonna load up Orwell over here. Hey, he's sitting in this bay now. We're loading up Orwell tomorrow, taking a truck out to Detroit. So today's Tuesday, load tomorrow, Wednesday, deliver Thursday, and then who knows what from there. To start off today's video, I guess, to the shop, we're working on the old 359 Patina Pete, the owner calls it. That the 359, it's 1983. So I got started on it while I was gone. I just got back. Yesterday I got dropped off at Raleigh-Durham Airport and took a little quick ride down to Fort Lauderdale because those yellow beer cans don't exactly fly directly from Raleigh to Milwaukee. So went to Fort Lauderdale, saw enough of the fun in the sun in Florida to honestly get jealous and then come home. So here's some of the pictures I took from the airplane I thought was pretty cool, coming into Fort Lauderdale and then coming out of Fort Lauderdale. So that was pretty interesting. And of course, me with the boats and all that, I'm sitting there like, oh man, looking at the river, how it goes into Lake Okeechobee from, I think, come out of Fort Pierce or maybe Fort Lauderdale area, I forget. But yeah, you can go across Florida from the Atlantic all the way into the Gulf. So that's pretty cool, go right through Lake Okeechobee. Right here's the pictures I took going over Lake Okeechobee where that canal dumps in on the east side of the lake. That was pretty badass. Then took a couple shots. Just happened to notice we're going over Indianapolis, like almost directly over it, slightly to the west. So now Google Maps, even on airplane mode, it'll tell you where you are. So it's pretty cool watching your little blue dot move as fast as you are. It's just under 4 hours from Fort Lauderdale to Milwaukee. Meanwhile, it's like 2 days to drive. It feels like you're cheating, like you're in a time warp. That's kind of funny how that works. Anyways, so we're not going to touch base on a lot of what's going on with the Peterbilt here, but I will just kind of point out some of the things we've done. The owner's cool with it being on YouTube. Cool showing off what we do. He kind of enjoys watching his truck get worked on here, so it's kind of cool. So we're not going to make it the point of what we do, but it is part of what we do here now, so that's awesome. Of course, if you got a truck similar like this that need to get work done on it, FSC Truck Shop is how you get a hold of me, FSCTruckShop@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and we'll talk about what kind of stuff's going on. So obviously we're not going to get into the computerized stuff, the more modern trucks. You know, if your truck's under warranty, you know, from Peterbilt or Freightliner or whoever else, you Volvo, yeah, take it to the dealer. We will pray for you, but we're not the people for that. Basic brake jobs, that kind of stuff like this. I'll show you exactly what we're doing with it, and this is the kind of work that we do. There are a lot of similarities between this truck and that truck, but you know, older, slightly newer, possibly better, possibly more annoying. We'll figure that out. So this particular job here, Chris went and replaced the air compressor for it. So that went ahead and got done. It used to have a fuel heater that was bolted here, similar to what Elaine has, but also a hotline or inline fuel heater. So it had both. None of it was hooked up, so that got deleted. While Chris had the antifreeze already pulled out of it, it was a good idea to do both. So, you know, the air compressor is water cooled through these lines right here. So while it's all dumped out, did it both. So that got deleted, compressor got replaced. There's one other thing we got to do to it before it goes out to the next job. Out to the next job, as in, well, it's not going anywhere. It's just gonna move on to the next job. But basically what I do is I set it up to where it's separate individual components of what we're working on. So not just one big giant ass job, but one huge bill. This makes better sense that way anyway. At least it works better for my paperwork. So there's where we are with the Patina Pete. Now, a few videos ago, I had discussed Elaine here. Elaine's PT pump did get back. Chris went ahead and installed it, and there it is sitting right there, ready to rock and roll, already done. Problem is, I didn't order the parts, and that's my fault. Friday, I was busy dealing with Matt and Lydia's BMW, which obviously I brought that down to North Carolina. So we got to put the rocker box, Jake's back on it. And this is not a very common engine with Cummins, so those parts are on order. We're looking at possibly tomorrow or Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So we're really looking forward to getting this done. Hopefully, it might even make it in this video, depending on how things go with the videos. Fuel tanks are pulled. They're going to be relocated to the back. Just underneath there, it just looks like dog crap, and I don't know how this truck ever made weight with that much weight at the steer axle, but either way, tanks are pulled. Chris did tell me my straps were absolute junk, so I got to get them now too. So it's just one thing after the other, but that's all right. We at least know what we're getting into when we're done. All right, first Chris is going to crank on it without it starting. He wants the oil to flow through from the starter to actually get oil into the compressor first. So when it don't start, don't be like, why won't it start? That's why. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day, and as you can see, it's pretty damned early out. Got an early jump on it today, because, well, we got to go get loaded a little bit later, because we're loading up Orwell and going to Detroit, Michigan. So we'll load that later on this morning, and then come back here, finish up, and then this afternoon we'll roll out. But Chris is working on the red 359. We got the first part of the job done yesterday with it. That was the air compressor and delete the old fuel heater that no longer was actually hooked up. But now we're working on another process with this truck, which is wheel studs. There's an issue with the wheel studs with this thing, so they were too short. We got the right ones coming. Actually got some in, most of them are on the way. It's just, that's how it is with old trucks with parts. Not everything is always available like right then and there, but I've yet to find something that we can't get. It's just a matter of just waiting a little bit of time, or maybe paying a little bit for the freight to get it to come in. Either way, getting started on that process here too. So yesterday after I got out of the shop, I had to go run a bunch of errands. We picked up more jack stands because, well, we have more trucks in here now, so obviously need more stands to work on them. Had to go get bolts for Elaine. That process continues as well, so I'd like to be able to see tank hangers hung on the frame in the proper locations where we're going to mount them and get the tanks back on the truck. Ordered the tank straps from Freightliner yesterday, and yikes, they are proud of those things, let me tell you. But we need them, so they're on their way. We'll get that done in the process. So for now, I went and got, like I said, the jack stands. So I got to take them out of the box, put them together, and start getting them dirty and using them. All right, let's get at it. So I made a quick trip yesterday to Northern Tool. This is what we wound up getting. And no, before I start inserting jokes, no, honestly, I don't go to Harbor Freight unless I absolutely have to. Northern Tool, you actually get like normal stuff like you do in any other store. Harbor Freight seems like they have cornered the market in the cheapest, crappiest built stuff ever. I know a lot of guys shop there. That's fine for you, but I'm not crawling underneath the truck with Harbor Freight stands. Come loose, you're still fighting you.
Well, they're not going to come loose that easy.
One can always hope, though. Bend them tabs in so these don't come out. Now, if you're wondering where all that clanging and banging is, this truck has, what are they, like alignment?
Yeah, they center it.
There's like these little cones that center the axle to the studs, and it's been silicone together, and it's been a long time. So you got to heat them and you got to beat them one at a time. And there's what, 8 studs? Yeah, 8 studs. And so far there's 3 removed. It's a time-consuming process.
I've heard of a puller for these, but the problem with that, if you pull on the axle, see those are slit. The harder you pull, the tighter they're going to get.
Right.
So that doesn't work. Some of them are split, some of them are not.
Oh, these are.
But all it takes is anti-seize and no silicone. They'll come right apart.
Well, starting to drip oil. So I may as well show you before I fire up Orwell and get out of here what we're doing with the rear end with the 359 here, what the problem were. Well, this truck was originally with centrifuge drums. They were a lot thinner. So the studs were thick enough for them, but then when they transferred over to a cast iron drum, they got a lot thicker, hence the studs got too short. I'll show you. Now, just like on Orwell, when you take the outer wheel off, now obviously these are aluminum, but these are stud pilot wheels, not hub pilot. In other words, keeping the wheel center is the bevels in each stud, not the hub itself. That's the old way of doing it. So you take that wheel off, you have these inner cap nuts or barrel nuts, or what you call them. Now, this being on the left side of the truck, it's left-handed thread. So when you thread these off, see how little of engagement that is. Thread them on all the way. There's only about a 1/4 inch engagement, which is way too short. That's created by the thicker drum pushing the wheel out. So the stud should be probably about out to here, not in as far as they are. So left-handed thread, you turn them the right side to loosen them, and off they go. There's not that much. So these hold the wheel, these nuts hold the inner wheel on, and the nut, which looks like a regular nut, holds the outer wheel on. That's how stud pilot wheels work.
The thing about it with hub pilots, you've got half the labor to change a tire.
Yeah.
You've got your parts room, you've got half the room taken up for parts because you don't have barrel nuts. It's just much easier. When I first seen them, I thought, holy crap, why didn't somebody think of this sooner?
Yeah, my 379, it's a 99 model, your truck, first one I ever seen like it, because my 95 Freightliner was just like this.
Yeah. All I knew before that was Dayton's and V's and Buds.
You still got one on the bottom.
Is there?
Yep.
Always miss that one.
Should I have just left them yank on it once on camera or told them? Leave a comment. Should I have been nice or not?
Wouldn't be the first time I've done that.
Well, I've done worse.
One under there.
Let's see if that one will slide off like the other one did. Nice. So this part here on the drum is thicker on these than it is on a centrifuge. The inner is steel rather than iron, this section here, and it's half the thickness. So that's why we have to change out these studs.
Oh, washer.
Washer. Might get lucky and have some of the wedges come out. That one over there is about as bad as it can get. If we didn't have the wedges, it would.
Heat and beat again.
Well, obviously we're in Chilton now. A couple more, maybe about a mile or two, and we're there. Get this piece of equipment. Ultimately, we're going to wind up going back to my shop after we get loaded. We'll leave this afternoon after I close the shop up. I might go, well, I don't have to go home and get my luggage. I'll go home quick. I might do a little bit of computer work, get some billing done for the shop, whatever, and then stroll out. Either way, I got to be in Detroit tomorrow, which most likely, I don't know yet, but most likely I'll need to be there at 10 o'clock. Normally that's when the appointments are set to meet the sales rep there. 9 out of 10 times they're there before we are anyway, so if I got there early, probably get unloaded. Just all depends. It's an interesting week because pick up Wednesday, deliver Thursday. I'd like to get a load back, but I'd have to unload, reload Thursday, then unload, reload again Friday for a bigger load outbound. So if we don't get a good load coming back, I might just head back home empty, and then get another big one for a long one over the weekend perhaps. We'll see what the freight gods have in store. Still end of the month, so usually pretty quick pace. What I'm hoping for, at least. Now we'll see. Getting work done though. We're growing pretty good, I think. I like how things are progressing. The shop's doing good. I'm busy. I mean, we certainly got enough work to keep Chris busy, that's for sure. One of ours. Peterbilt is. I think I've seen that Volvo here once too. Nope, not him. Busy around here, huh? loaded on our way. Guy in that black Kenworth, he's the founder of Whitmire Express's grandson. He drives here. The whole family drove. Took a gamble on a screw up from Jersey like myself, struggling under the weight of a really crappy contract down the block in Allenton, Wisconsin. Man that took a shot on me, sadly, is no longer around. He passed away like literally 10 years ago. Was Fritz Whitmire, big Santa Claus looking dude, cool as hell. His health was failing, and you know, it happens to everybody, you pass on. But the family moves on. I'm still contracted to him. I've done good with him since it was 06 when I started with him. So next year's 20 years, at least on the one company as an owner-operator. I've been happy, made a good living. I've always considered putting trucks on outside. Might have ran into somebody where that's possible in the future, but I don't know. It's just one of those options where it's like opportunity knocks in the weirdest times, and you're a fool if you don't open the door. Sometimes opportunity don't knock very hard. It just shows up, and sometimes opportunity don't even knock. You just got to look out the door and open it at the right time. But we'll see. I don't know. I tend to think things happen for a reason. So we'll see what the future holds. I've got, you know, think about it. I've got a total of 4 trucks, right? Granted, 1 runs. As of right now, 1 runs. But we are trying to get other trucks on the road. And I've got in mind what I've considered a special projects truck, and we'll see. Don't ever stop. I'm always thinking, always looking for bigger and better. But one thing's for sure, here we've been consistent, and that's a good thing when times are real tough. Volume has been slow, but consistent, at least for me. I guess the basic game plan right now is we're gonna head back to my shop. Should get there, I don't know, an hour and a half-ish before Chris leaves. And then figure out what to do. I might, I know I gotta go home, like I said, to get my luggage, but we'll see. Might do some computer work, might not, I don't know. They ain't over yet.